You know what sucks is when you record a full YouTube video, all right? Full on, just, you create it. And then once you go in the editing software, you click on the video, you put it on the timeline, wherever, where you make the cuts and stuff like that. And you see the volume, just not it. And it's just one of the worst feelings out there, man. Especially if you make like a long video or something like that. It just sucks. It really does. So today what I want to talk about, man, and I already made that's the thing, like I already made this video already, but the volume just wasn't working and I didn't make a freaking YouTube video yesterday. But today what I want to talk about, man, we're still going to be making this video again because it's a pretty cool thing to talk about. I guess you would say something that's sort of interesting. There really hasn't been anything too crazy that's been going on with the internet recently, other than like obviously that Dr. Disrespect situation, which I mean, we already talked about that. We're not talking about that anymore. But what I want to talk about today, man, is Warzone era Call of Duty, man. Now, Warzone era Call of Duty has been mid, to say the least, man. Modern Warfare 2019, Cold War, Vanguard, right? Like those games, MW2 2022 and MW3 2023 have been pretty buns. Okay, I'm just going to be real. So today we're going to be looking at this tweet here and answering the question, which Warzone era Call of Duty is the best and why? And then you have all the options that I just said. Now, in my opinion, I do think that the Warzone era Call of Duty has been the worst in the entire franchise. Obviously worse than the Golden Age and worse than the loot box era. I'm not even joking. I'd rather have the loot box era Call of Duty than this garbage out here, okay? Because at least with the paid DLC, you actually get a pretty decent quality, good map, and you get the 4 cool multiplayer maps. And loot boxes, again, I didn't like loot boxes at all, but it's way better than just having free mid stuff and having to spend 100 hours in the game or spend money to get all the content that's within that season. And we have to wait for so long for maps and stuff like that. And when games come out, they're just not finished, and then they fill out throughout the game and say, oh, it's a finished game, like you paid $70. It just sucks, man. So yeah, the Warzone era Call of Duty has not been it, but in my opinion, all right, the greatest Warzone era Call of Duty that we had so far, if you're a fan of this channel, you know exactly what answer I'm about to say. No, it's not MW3 2023. No, it's not, for the love of God, no, it's not Vanguard. It's not Modern Warfare 2019. It is, of course, the glorious, the GOAT of the 2020 so far, Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War, ladies and gentlemen. Cold War is the best Warzone era Call of Duty we had, and I'm going to be explaining why. So first things first, let's just discuss the multiplayer compared to all the other multiplayers. Cold War multiplayer is the last Call of Duty that feels like a simplistic multiplayer. You had your regular tac sprint. I mean, you didn't even have tac sprint. You had your regular sprint. That's what I meant to say. You don't have any mantles, no doors. You have pretty traditional 3-lane maps, and the game actually looks somewhat like bright. Obviously the graphics aren't as good as like a game like Modern Warfare 2019 or whatever, but the gameplay was fun. It felt like a classic Call of Duty game, and it's the first ever COD game with an FOV slider. So you gotta give Cold War credit for that, man. And even though Cold War did face the unfortunate the curse that all these other Warzone games have, or these Warzone era COD games have, like the battle pass and stuff like that, it still was a fun and enjoyable experience from the multiplayer side of things. The score streaks were cool. Obviously, the freaking strafe run and the annoying freaking airstrike are pretty annoying. But other than those two, man, the guns were kind of memorable. The XM4, the Craig 6, the AK-74U, the MP5. The attachments were pretty easy to understand. There wasn't 70 freaking like iron sights at all. It was pretty easy and simplistic to understand, and it was a simplistic Call of Duty game. You had, of course, the wild cards coming back, which is cool. And Cold War overall was a great multiplayer game. Okay, it was good. I want to say it's great. Okay, I shouldn't say great. The last great multiplayer was Call of Duty Black Ops 3. But it's a good multiplayer game. It's the best. It's better than Vanguard. Vanguard was just a snooze fest. I'm not even joking. I have like less than 30 hours on that game. Modern Warfare 2019, I didn't even buy at launch. I didn't buy Modern Warfare 2019 at launch, and I did buy it later in the year, but I kind of regret it because the multiplayer was just awful and it took up like half your freaking console. Modern Warfare 2 2022, a game that also took up half of your freaking console, just wasn't good at all. Like, it was just really like not fun. It really was a step back. And then Modern Warfare 3 2023 it's a super mediocre. It's a super mediocre experience. And the fact that fans are praising that game, saying, "Oh my gosh, one of the best CODs ever." Like, I've seen some people say that Modern Warfare 3 is like the top 10 COD. Modern Warfare 3 2023. That's just delusional. If you actually think that, I'm sorry to tell you, you just don't know COD. Simple as that. So with Cold War being the best, man, the multiplayer was just impeccable in my opinion. It was good. Like, okay, it wasn't, I shouldn't say these words like great or impeccable, but it was good. Okay, like it's a good one. It's not mid, it's not garbage. It's just simply good. It isn't great. It isn't the best. Great, like great tier and the best tier, like MW2 2009, Black Ops 2, Black Ops 1. But Cold War is in that good tier in games like, let's see, for example, like Modern Warfare 3, like the OG Modern Warfare 3. I thought that was a good multiplayer. Cold War is kind of on that level. Modern Warfare 3 is honestly like the OG Modern Warfare 3. This might be another topic for another video, but I think that game is the most overrated multiplayer game of all time. Don't get me wrong, it's good. Just because I say overrated doesn't mean it's bad. It's good and it's fun. It had Infected. It was cool, right? But to say that it's the best or like anywhere near that level, no thanks. So yeah, man, Cold War multiplayer was pretty fun, and it's the best out of all of them. Now let's talk about campaign. Cold War campaign is the best out of all of them as well. Modern Warfare 3 campaign, what was even that? Modern Warfare 2 campaign, just very mediocre. Vanguard campaign, just straight flashbacks, absolute trash. And Modern Warfare 2019, I guess you could say, maybe it's debatable. I didn't play Modern Warfare 2019 campaign, so I can't really say. But Cold War campaign, I did play, and there's one flaw in that campaign, and the flaw is that the game is too short, okay? The cool missions in Cold War, man, like if they were to expand on that in Black Ops 6, Black Ops 6 is going to have one of the best campaigns of all time. You had that one Russian mission. You get to make your own choices, right? Just like the Black Ops 2 campaign. You had like that one underground Russian mission, which was so cool, man. So that mission was ahead of its time, man. The fact that they actually did that with the time limit that they had with Cold War is insane. The fact that Cold War had 6 months of development and it's better than all these other Call of Duties just kind of shows that Treyarch, not only one, is the best, but number two, how simple it is to make a good Call of Duty game. Like, it really isn't that hard, man. Like, I don't know why they had like 3,000 devs, whatever, and just to make a mediocre, just soul-sucking product. Cold War was, yeah, some of the elements was soul-sucking, like the challenges and the boring and stuff, whatever, like if you don't pay money in the game. But at the same time, you had also, who remembers the Prestige shop, right? When you had like the classic things. That was cool for multiplayer. But anyways, as I talking about the campaign, man, the introduction of Adler was cool. The whole like storyline where you're kind of like a MK Ultra patient, I think that was so sick, right? And at the end of the game, you could make the decision of, okay, do I want to follow what Adler and them been saying, or do I want to, you know, stab him in the back and go for like Mother Russia or something like that. That's sick, right? Like, that's a cool ending. And so I hope we have something like that within Black Ops 6 where we can make decisions. Even though I'm not really a huge decision person when it comes to COD campaigns, I do admit that Cold War is cool, man. Like, Cold War is a fun, the campaign was great, man. The cutscenes were cool, sure. Obviously when the game came out it was buggy, whatever, but it still was so good, man. Like, the campaign, like this cutscenes and just the whole storyline was just amazing. You had Mason in there, you had freaking Ronald Reagan in the campaign. Like that's just sick, right? So yeah, Cold War campaign, I think it's the best one out of all of them, you know, guarding Modern Warfare 2019. I mean, I've seen Modern Warfare 2019 campaign. Doesn't really look that crazy compared to Cold War, but, you know, like, the campaign one, you could put a little grain of salt on that one. You could say it's a little biased, but multiplayer for sure, I played all of them, and yeah, I'm definitely giving it Cold War. The third side game mode, obviously Cold War Zombies takes the cake out of all of them. Vanguard Zombies, what the hell was even that? The worst zombies of all time. Modern Warfare 3 Zombies just dead in the water, boring. DMZ kind of dead in the water, and then what that survival they had in Modern Warfare 2019, absolutely trash cans. So obviously Cold War Zombies is the best third mode. Fun game. It really isn't that masterpiece or that crazy as some people say on the internet. Some people put Cold War Zombies above like Black Ops 1, for example, or like above Black Ops 3. That's just outright delusional. All right, let's just be honest. That's outright delusion. But still, I respect Cold War Zombies for what it done. The new systems that they added was pretty cool. And so yeah, with that being said, man, Cold War, Black Ops Cold War is the best Warzone era Call of Duty of the 2020s by far. And I think what's all said and done, for sure, Black Ops 6 is going to be the best one. Black Ops 6 just is looking like an amazing game. So I cannot wait for that to come out. We'll be playing it a ton, man, when that thing comes out. So sadly, I will be in school at the time, so I'm gonna have to just figure it out, man. I'm gonna have to figure it out. I'm gonna have to go crazy. But yeah, man, the best Warzone era Call of Duty for sure is Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War. And if you feel to disagree, let me know down in the comments, and let me know what you guys think is the best Warzone era Call of Duty. Is it Cold War? Is it Modern Warfare 3 2023? Like, what is it, right? Like, Cold War, in my opinion, just takes the cake. And so that's why it's the GO. So thank you guys for watching, or the GO of the Warzone era Call of Duty so far. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. If you guys enjoyed today's video, man, drop a like, subscribe for brand new, follow my social and everything like that down in the description. Let's hope that this Warzone era Call of Duty kind of ends soon, man, because I want something new. I'm tired of seasons and, you know, bundles and stuff like that. I just hope that something new comes soon. At least like in the next couple years, man, because I'm just tired of it. But yeah, as I said, thank you guys for watching this video down, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Have a good day.